What a beautiful, balmy Sunday morning, so beautiful. When you came in this morning, you were listening to Drukmo Gayal's mantra of the white Tara. This is the year of the water rabbit, and chanting the white Tara during the year of the water rabbit brings cohesion, reconnection, harmony, and longevity. It's an ancient mantra used in Tibetan Buddhism as a way of honoring the protector or the mother of all Buddhas. They say that calling on the white Tara for her divine love and compassion, wisdom, and protection. Today I'm wearing a brooch. This is specifically related to a beloved person that honored our presence for many, many years, Mary Ma. She's sort of a mother to all of us who knew her back then. She has since returned to spirit, but she lives in our hearts every single day. We have lots of stories about Mary Ma. If you ever want to hear one of them, let us know. It also brings to mind another special mother, Anandamoya Ma, and anyone who has ever meditated in front of one of her pictures, I know you felt her energy. So my name is Eileen. I'll be leading the service. I want to send out blessings to everyone who came today. I really appreciate your being here. And a special thank you to those at home who are listening on YouTube. We feel your energy. We are in the virtue of patience. So blessings to our brothers and sisters who chose to enter this life during the energy of patience. And I am confident that each one of you here or participating online have been touched by the energy of the Masters and are grateful for leading us towards reaching our life goals of patience, hope, and love. The voice you heard was our sweet sister Valerie, who has left us some years back, and I always enjoy hearing her voice, and it always brings me to my heart. And before I go into the next portion of the meditation talk, I want to send a special thank you to the folks who do all the hard work of making sure that everything is set up correctly here and that the electronics are working and that we'll be able to show this service on YouTube next week. So today is Missy and Paul, and thank you, Missy and Paul, for everything that you do to make this happen. So today's talk is on cultivating patience. Eknath Easwaran said that patience can't be acquired overnight. It's like building up a muscle. Every day, you need to work on it. Yep, every day. I'm quoting Paramahansa Yogananda, and whenever I do a quote, I am paraphrasing. When tilling the ground for cultivation of crops, one needs patience. Wait, even though the ground appears barren, when the field of consciousness is cleared and sown with seeds of good qualities, have patience to seek communion with God through deep meditation. Recently, while reading an article by Richard Rohr, he's a member of the Franciscan Order, I'm a big Richard Rohr fan, I came upon an essay entitled, Waiting for Patience. If you are to live on this earth, you cannot bypass the necessary tension of holding contraries and inconsistencies together. It becomes obvious in everything and everybody, every idea and every event, almost hidden in plain sight. Everything created mortal and limited, and if you look long enough, paradoxical. By paradox, I mean something that initially looks like contradictory or impossible, but in a different frame, at a different level, is in fact deeply true. As Paul said in Romans 8:24, Hope would not be the virtue that it is if it led us to quick closure and if we did not have to wait for it with patience. And I might add to that the assumption that we are all connected, part of the greater whole. Leo Babauta writes a blog, The Voice of Patience. In this essay, he gave an excellent example. There are moments when other people just set you off and you lose your patience. It is the downfall of many of us, co-workers, children, spouses, other drivers, irritating people on the subway. They can grate and they can anger you. And it goes on to say that to be aware of the emotions, accept them, but watch. Don't act. Then breathe. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese priest that has touched so many of us in this life, was quoted as saying, "Patience is a mark of love." I had not ever thought of patience as a mark of love. That's an interesting concept. So how does one find a measure of patience in the daily walk of life? Norm Paulson, founder of Sunburst Church of Self-Realization, wrote in Sacred Science, "Make an effort to be patient and forgiving of yourself and others. Sit down and reflect. Learn the virtue by practicing meditation every day. Practice patience and listen to the voice of conscious and your intuition when trying to make a decision. Listen to the space between your thoughts. Be patient. Spirit rewards those who are patient." He also wrote in Sacred Science, "It is your responsibility to decide where you are going. Once you have decided, plant it in the field of power with virtuous desires. Allow the Eightfold Path to influence your choices and always invite God to be your constant companion." So, my dear fellow soul travelers, as you put on your spiritual nature, your actual pure self, you will recognize the knowledge in which has always been there. You already knew it. You know this from the deepest part of your soul and spirit. Always start your day with the first step, meditation. Meditation is breath. Breath is the key and spirit connection to your soul that will bring you to the center of your being. Find that place where love for all exists. And when you're in a difficult situation, take a breather break and proceed in balance and benevolence and be patient with yourself and everyone you encounter throughout the day. And I had an example of that this week. Someone who's very, very intelligent, and I know she has a college education, wrote me a really dumb email. And I just stopped, and I wanted to respond right away, but I was on a breather break. I was taking my breather break, and I didn't have to because her supervisor did it for me. It was rather zip, don't do that. And that was the end of that conversation. Kind of took me back, but I thought, see, that's where a breather break comes in real handy. You just don't react. In your daily conduct, always be aware of your responses and have patience with your gut instinct to guide you through the day. One of our dear friends, Miriam Teresa, recently posted something on Facebook, and I asked permission to share it. She wrote, "The older I get, the more I realize the importance of walking away from people and situations which threaten my peace of mind, my self-respect, and values and self-worth." And what I read in this post was having patience within myself to reassess and to apply patience in all interactions when making decisions. And this year, as I'm doing every day, I remind myself that I am worthy. Then study what you're experiencing when in meditation. And when in a situation where your patience is tried, find that place within you that services the right step of study. Study and be patient with yourself during interaction and meditation. And by study, I mean listen to the voice of consciousness that comes to you when you're meditating. Spirit will give you the messages that you need to hear for that day. And when you are speaking, be impeccable with your word and your actions. Did you respond with the divine in your thoughts before speaking? Were you mindful of your breath? Ask yourself, did I breathe? And take that moment to listen to the divine within me and remember to respond with integrity. If you find that in those situations your voice is pitched a little high, slow down. Let the energy settle into your solar plexus, your other brain. You do have another brain that you can work with. And bring it to your heart center. Then respond with empathy and patience. And then use your heart center to exude love, balance, and patience with those you meet and associate with your daily activities. When in a difficult situation, stop and slow the breath. Give that moment a chance, like I did earlier, and respond in balance. And when the opportunities arise, practice patience. When beginning a meal, take a few moments to send a prayer of gratefulness for the bounty you've been gifted with. We are so fortunate to be living here and now at this time. I have many memories as a child, as sitting at the Sunday dinner table, exercising patience as the blessing for the meal was conducted, and sometimes it was a long blessing. And when working, be actively calm and calmly active, as Yogananda advised. Be aware of your reactions. Practice your breath before responding. And always be patient with yourself. And during times of recreation, embrace the unknown. Greet your interactions with a loving heart. And be patient with yourself during these interactions. All creatures, large and small, all of us, have been gifted with the same amount of God spark. We are all equal in the eyes of the Creator, our source. It is how we use this gift, our light, the flame contained within our breath and connected to our soul, that determines the outcome. We, all of us, are part of the co-creative consciousness of I am. When you breathe, review your reactions and step forward with patience from the very center of your heart, where your divine parent lives. Reside and send loving energy throughout the ethereal self into Mother Gaia and returning to the top of our heads to the Spirit Divine. Being balanced and patient in the center of all things presents quite a challenge for the frequency we are currently experiencing, and it's easy to be swayed in either direction. So the question might be, what is the right direction? You can ask that of yourself when you're in meditation, and be honest when you're asking, and accept the answer that the Creator may bless you with. So as we prepare to go into our meditation, take a moment to check your posture. If you're in a chair or in a meditation mat, make sure that your spine is properly supported and your knees are below your hips. If you're in a chair, place your feet flat on the ground, uncouple your legs. In Oriental medicine, yin tang is able to calm and relax the entire body by controlling hormone secretions. It is located right here, in the inner edges of the eyebrows. It is a reflex point of the pituitary gland, also known as the master gland of the body. This directly affects the entire endocrine system. It's able to calm the entire body and induce a mentally stabling effect by relaxing the sympathetic nervous system. So take a moment. Find that space, your third eye, the yin tang. It's also known as the Hall of Impressions, the upper dantian. Gently massage the third eye clockwise for a few revolutions and begin to envision a six-pointed star. And if you're finding that thoughts distract you, go back to focusing on your breath, your pranayama, that connection between your spirit and your soul. Pay attention to your breath as it enters through the nose and flows out of your body, down your spine, and envision your flame of life rising as the flow of air leaves your body on the exhale, and gaze to that six-pointed star at the third eye. Adjust your chin to elongate your spine, preparing it for circulations. Feel as though your back and head are leaning against a wall straight, and envision that golden thread at the top of your head pulling your spine erect. Why meditate? Norm Paulson, Sunburst founder, said, "Through meditation and prayer, we can see God face to face." We're going to play a short clip by Norm about meditation, after which Claudia will lead us into the bowls for a quiet time.
What is this soul of us? It's God's blueprint, the mental projection of subatomic particles and thought forms that He had for each one of us from the very beginning to the end. This is our soul, totally divine, waiting to be awakened in us to the consciousness of Christ. What is the consciousness of Christ? It's knowing our divine parents face to face and having the privilege of being a son and a daughter, and knowing we are a son and a daughter, and having our prayers answered and our desires fulfilled. Why should we meditate? Why should we learn to meditate? Why should we spend the time, as young people, as old people, to find out who we really are? To really know who we really are. There was a saint in India whose only meditation was, he continually asked himself, "Who am I?" over and over and over and over again in his meditations, till he found out who he was. This body of Christ, when I call it the body of Christ, I'm referring to the consciousness, the living presence of consciousness in that light. I'm not talking about the body of Jesus, but Jesus does exist in that light, as do all those who have attained it. Why did God create us all? Because He wanted to come here and play on this earth. Exist through our five senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, What a wondrous thing it is that they work, that we can play and sing and dance and run and swim and work and create all these things, these good things of life God came here to do. You all are sitting on the threshold of a new age, and God is waiting to come down through that door and begin your journey. Spend your spare time with God. Include Him in your work every day. He loves to swing a hammer, loves to finish concrete, loves to ride horseback, loves to do all these wondrous things that He gave us hands to do. That's why we have them. Good, honest work makes the soul happy, makes God happy in us. Having children and raising children to know God so that they can have the same enjoyment, the same appreciation of life. Yes. Make the effort now today and say to your soul, I'm going to meditate twice a day when I get up in the morning for however long I can and before I go to sleep at night. And keep the door on the crown of your head open.
So welcome back from the quiet portion of the service where we contemplate and meditate on the inspiration of patience. I often speak about the God spark that we are gifted with when we come into this life. And there is a hymn from my childhood that expresses that light. I have wonderful memories of my mother singing this with us during our daily evening prayer devotions. And in our house, my mother was a minister. We had evening devotions every single night. I'm sharing this because while preparing for this service, I knew her energy was nearby when I heard it. We actually sang it at her memorial service. It started out as a spiritual, and it has evolved over the years, and I found several iterations of it. I'm going to read the words. I'm sure many of you know this song. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And I'm feeling my mother right now with us. Everywhere I go, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. In my neighbor's home, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine all over the entire wide world. I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine. Now I'm going to share my story of patience. And my first thought when I thought, well, I'll speak about patience, was patience needed with my children. And then I thought, no, not really. There were many times when my patient was tried as a parent, and I remember the multiple times I had not given myself the opportunity to be patient. But take a look at my hair. 6 feet of hair. This is what taught me patience. Gently and patiently unraveling the snarls in 6 feet of hair. That takes patience. And last night I spent 2 hours on a snarl. Just have to be patient. You're welcome to talk story with us during conscious speech and recreation in the lodge, where we're going to enjoy the blessings of conscious nourishment. And go ahead and share with us your memories, your dreams, reflections of faith, hope, and love, and how patience evolved in your daily life. So I want to send a special blessing to each and every one of you who are joining us today. You're invited to join us for online daily group Zoom meditation fellowship offered throughout the week. You can contact the office for more information. We have people coming from all over the entire United States to our Zoom meditations now. It's a joy to have them there, every single one. The hallmark of Sunburst is our dedication to meditating in fellowship. Remember to practice kindness to our Mother Earth, and remember that the Holy Land is wherever you are and wherever you step. So step with kindness on our Mother Gaia. Remember that all things are native to her. We all do breathe the same air. Most of all, thank you, Great Spirit, our Creator, for this life. I am thankful for the trials, the tribulations, the happy and sad times. I am grateful for this adventure today that has brought me to this moment right now here with all of you. Don't give away your power or patience to anyone, and that includes yourself. And remember that you are worthy of life, love, and God. As Norm used to say, life, love, and God. I'm going to read an affirmation. God, I am that I am in the creative universe. Draw positive, loving energy towards my spirit that is abundant and balanced. God, I am that I am, no, I am God particle. My creative self affirms acceptance and self-realization as I part the veil of forgetting with joy and without fear or ego. God, I am that I am abundantly able to succeed in every effort that I truthfully designate. And a quote from Yogananda about patience, and I am paraphrasing. Patience is the intuitive experience of all truth, the meditation born in the conviction that we are made in the all-knowing, all-seeing image of God. So may the peaceful vibration from today's gathering be with us for the rest of our day. Remember to be calmly active and actively calm. And as Norm used to say, life, love, and God. We will end the service with a song. Thank you for joining us. We feel each one of you, we feel your blessings and your energy.
Let thy whisper in the temple of silence guide me to the right path. Let thy whisper in the temple of silence guide me to the right path that leads to thee. To thee, that leads to thee, that leads to thee, that leads to thee. Let thy whisper in the temple of silence guide me to the right path. Let thy whisper temple of silence guide me to the right path that leads to thee, 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 that leads to thee. guide me to the right